Hey, welcome back. Brand new section here, all about something called decorators. And you may recall I mentioned decorators once or twice in the OOP section when we saw how to create a class method. You write @class method in front of it. That's an example of a decorator. But that's all I'll say about it for now, because first, we actually need to review some really important concepts about functions, and more importantly, higher order functions. To review, a higher order function is just a function that either returns another function from inside or accepts a function as an argument. One or more functions, I should say. As an example of passing functions as arguments to other functions, we could do something like define a function called sum, and sum accepts another function. And what it's going to do, so we pass in a number n, like 10, and then I pass in a function like square, so it would look something like this. Sum 10 square is not defined. What it should return to me is the sum of the first 10 squares. So then we need another function called square. So if we define that, def square just takes x and returns x times x. That's simple enough. And then I call sum with 10 with square. What we're going to do is in here, we'll make a variable called total, and then we'll do a loop. We can start simple, for I in range, let's go with num instead, in range n, total plus equals, and then we call func with num. Okay? So the result when I call this here, sum 10 comma square, it's going to pass in 10 here, and the function square here, set total to be 0, for number in range. Technically this starts with 0, which it doesn't really, it's kind of a waste, because in our example we're summing 0, or 0 times 0 is 0, we're adding that to 0, but it doesn't matter. Next time through, however, num is 1, so we're adding func of num, so square of 1, which is 1, we add that to total. Next time through, num is 2, so we func num, which passes 2 into here and returns 4, and we add 4. And we keep going. So this works, or it should work. Oh, and at the end, we definitely need to return total. And then to see something, let's add a print here. Okay, so 3, the way that our loop is set up, we might need to adjust it. But if we print this, all right, we get 5. So what it did is it summed the square of 0, the square of 1, and the square of 2, which gives us 0 plus 1 plus 4. So that gives us 5. If we don't want to start at 0, we could shift things up 1. We could do 1 comma n plus 1 like that. And if we run this now, we get 14, which is squaring 1, 2, and 3 and adding them together. 9 plus 4 plus 1. Okay, so the other thing I'll show, of course, we could define another function called cube. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that siren outside. Sounds like I'm in a war zone. Okay, I'm back. That's just the weekly Tuesday at noon siren. It's just a test they always do in San Francisco. Reminds me every time I hear it, another week of my life gone by. So where was I? Defining a cube function. We could also just return x times x times x. And now I could pass cube in instead. And that should give us a larger number. Yep, 36. So it's cubing 3, cubing 2, and cubing 1, and adding them together. Okay, so this is just to show that we can pass functions in to other functions as arguments. We have 2 we've defined, and I guess I'll just put both of them down here so we can see. And there we go. Passing them in, they're being called from inside the function. So that's one type of a higher order function, which is passing functions as arguments. And now here's an example of nesting a function inside of another function. So there's a function called greet, and all that greet does is it calls another function called getMood that's defined inside. So getMood just returns randomly either hello there, go away, or I love you, and there's a space at the end. And then it's called, it uses choice from random. We've seen that before. It's called right here. And then we just concatenate the person, like Toby, that's being passed in as an argument, and then return that result. So when I call greet Toby, it actually ends up calling getMood inside of greet. GetMood returns hello there or go away. We concatenate that with person, save that to result, and we return go away Toby or I love you Toby. And we can run it. There we go. Go away Toby. I totally agree. He needs to leave. Changed my mind. Hello there, Toby. Anyway, so that's an example of just running a function inside of another function. They're nested inside of one another, but we're not actually returning a function. We're just returning the result or part of the result from a function combined with something else. So what we can do also, I don't know where this P showed up, come on. What we can do also is actually return a function. So here's an example of that. So very similar, all that we have, I'm using choice again. Let's look at the inner function first. It's called getLaugh, and it just picks a laugh. Ha 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 ha, LOL, or
Please make it stop.
One of those is chosen randomly, and we return that from getLaugh. That's all that it does. Then we have this outer function called makeLaughFunc, and it doesn't return the choice. It doesn't return the result of running this. It returns the entire function. So it's not returning ha 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 or LOL. It's returning this. Okay? So this is a trivial example, but we're creating a function that creates another function, or that returns a function to us. So we have laugh, which is just a variable name, call it whatever we want, equals the result of running makeLaughFunc. The result of this is returning getLaugh, so it's just this, makeLaughFunc. So then when we execute laugh, we're executing this, and it returns one of these choices, and we're printing it out. So let's see what happens. We execute it, we get LOL. LOL. Give me a haha, come on.
Ha.
There we go. Okay, hopefully it didn't just blow out your ears. So we've got a function returning a function here. That's another way of writing a higher order function. The last thing I'll show you is basically the same thing except working with an argument. So now we have a function called makeLaughAtFunc. So the difference is that we're going to pass in someone like Linda, and we're going to use that person's name and return it from the inner function. So we have the same pattern. It's called makeLaughAtFunc, and it just returns getLaugh. But getLaugh now not only picks a choice like haha, LOL, or tee, but also it returns the choice with the space and then the person's name. So person, and this is important, person is not defined inside of getLaugh. It's not passed in to getLaugh. It was passed in to makeLaughAtFunc. It's a parameter to the outer function, but we have access to it in the inner function. Okay, so this is actually what's known as a closure, but I don't want to complicate things with jargon. Let's just focus on what happens. So we return getLaugh from this outer function. GetLaugh is this, and that just returns a randomly chosen laugh. It's a string with the laugh and then person's name. When we then call makeLaughAtFunc and I pass in Linda, it's returning getLaugh. And getLaugh has access to person. So then every time I call laughat, it knows that person is Linda. Because when I when I set up everything and I called makeLaughAtFunc, we returned getLaugh, person was Linda. So every time I call laughat, we get haha Linda or LOL Linda or
Teehee Linda.
So let's prove it, execute it. There we go. I'm running it 4 times. And so we get ha 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 Linda, LOL Linda, or
Teehee Linda.
Okay. So none of these are particularly useful things. Maybe doing something like this, passing a function in at something. I mean, we saw it with generators when we created the for loop. I forgot about that example. When we rewrote a for loop, we passed in a function to another function and called it. So it is something that you will see. I'm not trying to say this is super weird or out there, just more that these examples are silly, greeting or saying LOL or something like that. Probably not what you'll spend your time on writing code. But it's important because in the next video, we're talking about decorators. And decorators basically are just functions inside of other functions that wrap around other functions. So you just need to be comfortable with the idea of higher order functions, accepting other functions as arguments, and functions returning other functions. Okay, next up, decorators.